one of our deepest authors, Andre van Zijl. Andre is a rare talent. His original muse led him to become an exceptional visual artist with works in museum collections around the world. Moved by events around him, Andre also penned political pieces in his native South Africa, speaking out during turbulent pre- and post-apartheid times. Now in Los Angeles, Andre is writing his first book, the masterful A Country Not Made by Men, based on his own life in country. An excerpt from the first chapter is going to be read today, and we count ourselves very lucky indeed to have Andre in our midst. Andre?
Country Not Made by Men, by Andre van Zijl, actually. A Childhood in Africa, Prayer. Africa grips me by the throat, shakes me like a dog with a rat, refusing to let me go. I stand on its soil, bask in its light, and listen to its past, compacted by layers of time beyond thought. Freighted choral silences greet me. Silences more of the heart than the ear. The voice of passion is released in the startled flight of bush doves, the sound of wet laundry slapped by wind. Ati, my father's nephew, comes to me at my father's funeral. He is a tall man, a protea farmer for the international flower market. His puce face is clenched, enduring deep emotion. I am standing in the vestry of a pretty thatched granite church. Rain on roseate Victorian stained glass, declaring the victory of the cross. Clergy are preparing to send off one of their own. Surrounded by the stiff rustling of studied virtue, starched vestments and averted eyes, Ati's stuttering words become an island upon which we now stand, staring into each other's eyes. Ati's bloodshot eyes filled with an unspooled grief. Our feet stand on desert soil, far from here. Andre, I have come to tell you something about who your dad was. I lived with your dad in the same room when I was a youngster after the war. And hell, man, I've just got to tell you how I felt about your dad. When I saw him, I said, this is the kind of man I want to be when I grow up. If there was someone who could ever be a hero, he was. I'll never forget his legs. No one ever had legs like him. Hey, I know we've got to go to church now, but I've got to quickly tell you this one thing. Hell, I'm sorry. We were out hunting gemsbok without any bloody permits in the Kalahari. It was late winter. We came over a hell of a high dune and surprised 13 of the buggers. We chased them in the Chevy International up and down the steepest dunes. The sand there is red, red like your blood. Willie was the shooter. He stood in the back of the truck. The herd split. The leader, the biggest male, turned us away from the female and young ones. He led a small group of males balecking like crazy in the front. We chased them deep, dur and gone into the bloody desert. On the edge of a ridge of sand high above us, he suddenly stopped, turning to face us. His sides were wet in the sunlight as he turned to stare at us. The rest of them vanished down the shadow of the dune. His eyes bulged yellow as he blew foam and steam out of his mouth like a steam engine. His horns corkscrew straight behind him. He was bloody ready to take us on, just standing there. We sat in the cab waiting for your dad to shoot. We began to shout, "Skit, man, skit!" But nothing. The antelope showed us his backside and disappeared. We turned moaning. Uncle Willie was standing in the back, tears streaming down his face. He whispered, "I couldn't shoot such a thing of beauty." Can you believe that? That's the kind of man your dad was.
Wow, huh?